Okay, today we learned about the triangle sum and the exterior angle theorem. So we are going to learn how to apply both of them to find measures of angles in a triangle. So we talked about, first of all, in exploration, we said that Caroline and Emily are building a bridge out of toothpicks for a science competition. Emily thinks the sides should be constructed using triangles. So she said that M and N are parallel, and P and R are transversals that intersect at point A. So from this, we can find out, we know that the lines are parallel, so we want to know what about 1 and 2. Well, 1 and 2 are known as alternate interior angles, and because the lines are parallel, these are congruent. Okay, what is true about 3 and 4? Same idea, they're alternate interior angles, so they're congruent as well. So what kind of angle is formed by 1, 5, and 3? Here we can see that it is a linear, or it forms a line. They're not a linear pair because that's just two angles, but they will be supplementary. And that says write an equation explaining this relationship or representing it. So we can say the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 5 plus the measure of angle 3 will equal 180 degrees. And we can see how that applies now to our triangle here, because from this first question we learned that they're congruent, so they're the same. So instead of having 1 there, we could rewrite our expression to say measure of angle 2 plus measure of angle 5 plus, from our second equation, we know 3 and 4 are the same, so we could replace that 3 with a 4, and that will give us 180 degrees. And here we learned that all the angles in a triangle will add to be 180 degrees. So I had some pictures of some bridges. We talked about the different triangles we can see. On all of these bridges. And how important that triangles are to a bridge. So again, the triangle sum theorem, that's what we just showed with that last exploration, is that the sum of all the angles in a triangle add to be 180 degrees. So if we add all these angles up, we should get 180 degrees. On example 1, it says find the value of x in each of the triangles. So we know that if we add all of our angles, it should equal 180 degrees. So we add the 48 and the 85 to get 133. And then from here we subtract 133. And we find that x is 47 degrees. On our second equation, or our second triangle, we have a 2x for an angle, a 4x for an angle, and 90 for an angle. So the first thing I would do is get rid of this 90. And this proves something that we have talked about before, that the other angles of a right triangle are complementary. That means they add to be 90. So that would give you a shortcut if you recognize that. Then we add 6x, or combine like terms, and then divide by 6. And x equals 15. Now the other thing that might occur is that I know that I'll ask you to do this in your homework. I'll ask you to find this angle as well. So you're going to take 2 times that 15 we found for x, which is 30. And then we'll also do it here. 4 times 15 is 60. So you'll find all the angles within the triangle. Here's another example. We're going to take 4x plus 6x minus 10 plus 2x minus 14. They just get consecutively harder. And all of these add up to be 180 degrees. From here we'll combine all of our x's. So we have a 4, a 6, and a 2 to get 12x. And then we'll combine our other two, negative 10 and negative 14, to get negative 24. We'll add 24 to both sides to isolate the x, which is 204 divide by 12, and x equals 17. Now to go back and find all of our angles, we're going to take 4 times 17, which is 68. We're going to do the same thing down here. We're going to take 6 times 17 and subtract 10. So 6 times 17 is 102, subtract 10 would be 92. And then for our last angle, we take 2 times 17, 34, minus 14 is 20. And then the last thing you could do is add all three to make sure that they equal 180 degrees. Which they do, so we know that we've done our math or our algebra correctly. On example 2, it says the measures of the angles of the triangle are in the ratio 1 to 4 to 5. What are the measures of the angles? So one way to solve this is we can take 1x plus 4 times x plus 5 times x equals 180. Then we combine all these, which give us 10x equals 180. Divide by 10, and that gives us x. Then from here, to find out what 1 times x is, we know our first one is 18 degrees. Then to find the other angle, we take 4 times 18, which is 72 degrees, and we take 5 times 18, which is 90. And then again, you could add those three just to make sure that they all add to be 180, which they do, so we know that we've done our algebra correctly. The exterior angle theorem says that the exterior angle, the angle on the outside of a triangle, is equal to the sum of the remote interior angles. So not 2, but the sum of 4 and 3. So if we add those two angles, it should equal 1. So we're going to use that idea here. X, that's our exterior angle, is equal to the sum of the interior. So we get 102 for x. Okay, this one on B, it gives us the exterior angle. So we're going to say this is equal to the sum of the other two angles, the interior angles. So to solve for x, we subtract 112, and x equals 43 degrees. Okay, that should help with your assignment 9, 3, triangle sum and exterior angle theorem. Good luck.